All right, guys, we need to talk about driving in the canyons. And don't worry, I'm not going to be a canyon Karen on you guys and tell you can't have fun. But there's some stuff I've been seeing on social media that makes me think that there's a lot of misinformation, and I want to make sure you guys are having fun out there in a safe way. And again, I'm not going to tell you you can't ever bend the rules a little bit, but I am going to keep it real with you. By the way, if you have an ND Miata and you want a slick wireless charging magnetic phone mount like that, you can find the link down in the description. And my full mod list is also down in the description as always. So a lot of us driving enthusiasts in particular like to bomb the canyons, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we need to do so with judgment. I think there are many times where people are crossing the double yellow in a way that doesn't make sense. I'm not saying you should never cross the double yellow. You usually should not, and we'll get to the exceptions. But around a blind corner, like that motorcyclist was right along the double yellow. He was cutting it a little bit too close for comfort, right? Technically, he's not doing anything wrong. But for safety margin, if I was him, I would not want to be riding right that close to the center divide, because even people who aren't driving like car enthusiasts and driving aggressively, they will oftentimes blow past it. In fact, today I was following a Tacoma and it was just laughably bad. This person was going 10, 15 miles an hour below the speed limit, and we're just completely ignoring the double mustard and treating it as a single lane, even across blind corners, which is incredibly dangerous. The speed limit on this road is actually 45, and again, this person was going like 25 to 35 and was still not able to stay in their own lane. Because if you're a car enthusiast or a driving enthusiast, you probably care more about driving than the average person. And I was just thinking about this recently. If I go to a track day, I'm surrounded by people who care a lot more about driving than the average person. So it's safe to assume that the average driver at a track day is far better than the average driver out here on the street who doesn't attend track days. They probably take driving more seriously. They care more about improving their driver skill, car control. But when you go to a track day and you go to the beginner or the low intermediate groups, you know, you realize that there's a very wide spread in skill sets. And if that is just the people at the top 10%, right, the people that go to track days, then it really makes you think, wow, the 95% of people below that threshold who are just driving on the road, who don't attend track days, that's something scary. And thank you, sir. We've been having mixed canyon etiquette recently, but I do think it's better in SoCal. The canyon etiquette there is really good. In NorCal, it definitely is inconsistent. Kudos to this gentleman right here. It is also quite inconsistent in Las Vegas because people are constantly coming in there from all different parts of the country and the world. So when it comes to the double yellows, I sometimes will see people cutting them for the sake of, you know, it's the fastest way around a corner. You cut through the double yellows, you straighten it out. On the racetrack, the reason we have a driving line or a racing line is because you want to straighten out and maximize the radius of that corner so that it is less sharp of a turn. Right, so here someone would cut through the double yellow and then track out wide here. But it doesn't really make sense, because when you're on the canyons, number one, safety, yes, obviously, don't worry, again, I'm not gonna be a canyon Karen and tell you, don't do things because it's against the rules or against the law. I hate that stuff. And in fact, for those who don't know, I have two other YouTube channels, my main business YouTube channels. One is called Med School Insiders, one is called Chemistry Ball MD, and those are more focused on medical education, how to become a doctor. And over there as well, I keep it real. I don't tell students don't cheat because it's wrong. I tell them don't cheat because of these reasons that are actually in your own self-interest, even if you never get caught. So same thing here, which is that, yes, the double yellow for safety you shouldn't ever be crossing, at least by the book, that's what they say. And I'll talk about those exceptions in a sec. But the other thing is that the reason you like driving on the canyons is because it is challenging, because you have the G-forces, it tests you as a driver, right? There's a reason why you don't just go 120 miles an hour on the highway. That's just not fun. You're driving in a straight line. So by definition, you enjoy the canyons because there's an element of challenge of having to drive quickly and masterfully and safely around these windy corners, and you have elevation change and on and off camber turns, and blind corners and decreasing radius corners and all these things that keep it interesting. So by cutting a double yellow and just straightening out a corner, you're actually working against that. You're now making it more boring, more in the direction of becoming a highway. Like, why not try to keep it within your lane at all times and do the best you can while following those rules? Now, I'm not saying that you should cross the double yellow, but I will tell you that it is more reasonable to understand why someone would want to if they were stuck behind a car that is going 10 below the speed limit, that has passed multiple turnouts and has refused to use those turnouts to let you by. Because if you actually read the DMV handbook, and as they say in the operating room, how you do anything is how you do everything. So yes, I was that dork that actually read the DMV handbook when I was 16 years old, because I was so excited to drive and I'd like to do things the right way, because there is a right way and a wrong way to do most things in life. You will see that in the DMV handbook it says if there are cars behind you, you need to be using a turnout, and especially if there are, I think the threshold was 5. If there are 5 or more cars behind you, you are required to use that turnout and let them by. But a lot of people will still ignore that. So it would be far more understandable for someone to say, hey, I don't like that this person is not abiding by the rules and not using a turnout and they keep going below the speed limit. I'm now going to pass them by crossing the double yellow. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying that is more understandable as to why someone would want to. But if someone were to do that, they would still have to be careful not to pass right now because it is blind over there. If you guys have been watching my channel or saw on Instagram, there was an instance where I think it was a 4Runner Toyota SUV crossed a double yellow at a blind corner, and if it wasn't for my evasive maneuver, there would have been head-to-head contact. Head-on collision, that would have been terrible. So I was driving spiritedly, but again, the speed limit on the road is 45. I was going like 50 to 55. Oh no, I'm 5 to 10 above the speed limit. Not a big deal, right? The bigger issue is crossing the double yellow when it is not safe to do so. So let's say I was stuck behind someone going 20 miles an hour right now, and now there is a straight piece of road and I have full visibility. It is double yellow here, and I technically should not cross the double yellow, and legally that would be the wrong thing to do. But if someone were to make the case that, hey, I'm stuck behind this car, they're not using the turnouts, they passed multiple turnouts, they're not following the rules, and if they wanted to then safely cross the double yellow here and overtake, I would not hold that against them personally. Again, I'm not saying you should, because that is illegal. You should not ever do illegal things, but I'm just saying I would understand their perspective a little bit more. And you can apply this to just about every part of the driving experience. The fun is in the challenge. You wouldn't do it if it wasn't challenging. It wouldn't be fun if it wasn't challenging. If you ever played a video game that was too easy, you'd find it boring. If you play a video game that's too hard, it's also not fun because now you're just getting frustrated. So you have to find that sweet spot. That's what makes things the most fun, even in learning. So we use this term called desirable difficulties to describe the point at which optimal learning occurs, because you're challenging yourself enough to learn maximally, because if things are too easy, you're just kind of sitting there bored. But you're not so overwhelmed trying to learn nuclear physics when you barely know algebra that you're just constantly hitting your head against a wall and feeling frustrated and lost. So the same thing applies behind the wheel. So think about that when you go canyon carving. Keep it in your lane. Don't cross the double yellows unless you actually really need to. Don't do it just when you're driving spiritedly, because it is silly, it is dangerous, and it doesn't make you a better driver. And in fact, we can talk about that same concept of the pursuit of mastery and approaching those desirable difficulties to maximize your enjoyment, even when it comes to driving stick. Like, certain people say, oh, I don't want to drive stick, automatic, that's the newer, better way, it's faster. Okay, but those of us who do drive stick, we know that it's much more fun, much more engaging, because there's an additional challenge there to drive stick properly. It's not like, oh, let me just move a lever front and back, it's fun. No, the reason it is fun is because it is somewhat challenging. Now, of course, after you've been driving for several years, it's not challenging. Like, this is second nature. And then, if you want to up the ante and become a better driver, then you do things like rev matching, heel toe, double clutching, and my personal favorite, which is heel toe, double clutching at the same time. I have tutorial videos on all these different techniques. But if we allow ourselves to get in the way of that, if we allow our egos to say, you know what, I don't need to learn manual because automatics are better and faster. I don't need to learn rev match because that's just too try hard. I don't need to learn double clutch because most cars have synchros, even though synchros can fail, and just ham-fisting it into first, even with synchros, is a terrible idea. You should always double clutch into first when you were downshifting for just mechanical sympathy reasons. Then we're not going to enjoy driving as much. So we need to get out of our own ways. It's oftentimes the ego, the self-preservation, acting like we don't need to learn more things. We already know enough. We're already good enough. We're perfect the way we are. We need to push against that instinct and say, you know what? I'm curious to learn more. I'd love to learn how to improve my driver skill, improve the craft. Again, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you pursue mastery, I promise you, you're gonna enjoy being behind the wheel far more. So keep it within your lane. Do not cross the double yellow unless you absolutely need to. Let's say there's a cyclist over here, I need to give them enough space. That's a very good reason. Again, assuming that I have the visibility, please do not do that around a blind corner like that less than intelligent 4Runner driver from that prior BMW review. Similarly, don't shy away from the challenge of improving your driver craft, going to the racetrack, trying to up your skill level there. Work with an organization that can offer you an instructor at your first few track days. Learn manual, and then once you do know the basics of manual, then keep trying to master and improve from there. You know, your rev match, your heel toe, your double clutch and such. And there you have it, my friends. And I hope that helps. I'll see you guys in the next one.